And so we sail onward and outward into the dark. Oh shit, that's right. There we go.
제가 앞에 서죠.
Right on back to it. No time to waste.
자, 피쿼드 타운에 온 걸 환영한다.
The very first line of dialogue. This is where I wanted to stop last time. Welcome to, we definitely didn't want to try to recreate Lovetown or anything. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
선장님, 저희가 왔습니다. 어떤 걸 건져 올렸는지 보세요.
역시 자네 수색 솜씨만큼은 나무랄 데 없이 훌륭하군, 스타버. 금화 2개는 자네 것이야. 1개는 이 쌍둥이 손원들에게 넘기자고.
감사합니다, 선장님.
Welcome back. You're,
이 피쿼드 타운에 새로운
welcome
주민들이
to,
오면
the
무척이나
lovely
오랜만이야.
town of Pequot Town.
주민? 손님이 아니고?
발을 들인 순간부터 종속되는 게 당연하다 생각하는 사람의 발언이군.
역시
나는 이 불쌍한 선원들을 보살피며 이 마을을 만들고 머지않아 이들을 이끌고 마지막 항해를 나갈 선장 에이헤브다.
이 순간을 얼마나 원하고 원했는지 몰랐을 거고.
You know, a lot of people experience their first degree of trauma through Lovetown, and it really shows.
뒤져버릴 테니까. 오, 열렬한 환영이군, 이스마일.
이스마엘이라고? 그러고 보니
등에도 모르는 것들이군. 선장님을 공격하다니.
본때를 보여주겠다.
다시 그 위산에 던져놓겠다.
We've pissed them off. Fantastic. Good. Great. You know, I understand, Ishmael. Like, I get it. You've got trauma somewhere in there of yours. Did we need to murder Hobo? Yes. Justified.
먼저
All right,
끝내고
fair.
들어오는 친구는 맛있는 거 사줄게.
Oh, that's right.
카드로.
So, this is gonna be the running theme of this dungeon. Unlike every other dungeon, this one's extremely linear, because, obviously, you don't get to, like, roam around a building. This ain't exactly a building to go into. But it's one of the things that I haven't seen a whole lot of people bring up, but it's like the weird design ethos for this dungeon, where it's event node, normal combat, rest node. Like, event, combat, rest, event, combat, rest, or some permutation of that. So you constantly keep having your SP reset, and it's really fucking annoying. So now we get to experience shaky clash rates. Everyone's favorite. Oh man, if people have been doing the mirror dungeon, they absolutely fucking hate these guys. Oh yeah. Pierce nodes are terrifying.
저들의 사람 돋군 것 같은데요.
어떤 사람들은 상처를 통해
Yeah,
성장한다.
like this is what I was trying to fix. Glad to see it wasn't enough.
순식간에 끝내죠.
I will say, bringing it back around though, it is quite fun seeing people who are completely bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to the magical wonders that you can find in the dredges of the internet, going through content like Lovetown and seeing just the amount of psychic damage they can take when
제프를 따라오십시오.
Whereas when you've been around the block enough, you will have seen that kind of content a lot. I find it very novel, personally, as I'm definitely within the category of totally didn't watch like a beheading video when I was 12 kind of thing. The internet's a beautiful place. It's not like that anymore, at least, oh, Gregor, you're doing great. The song is so good. Like, that's the one part of Love Town that's, like, subtle, you know? It's got that subtlety to it. There's an artistry, there's a craft to that area. It's amazing. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't... Oh, yeah, wow, great. Fucking, so this is what we're doing today. Oh, good. Because a lot of people, if you don't have the concept, the song is composed in such a way that people think, oh, it's a song about love, longing for love, but not feeling confident enough to take that final step before being pressured by whether it be family or outside sources to take that plunge into a love that you're not really sure that you feel yet. And then when you're in there, you know, you start to realize that you didn't actually have strong enough feelings to warrant the commitment, and now you feel like you entered into a world that you can't escape from, and you've rushed your own life too far ahead. Like, that's like a common theme. Like, that's a good, like, theme for, like, life, love, and not cosmic horror, you know? But then, whoops. Then when you get actual context, you're like, ah, yes, none of that was true. It is honestly one of my favorite songs in this entire franchise, just because of the artistry used to differentiate the sections of the song and allow it to be a standalone art piece that resonates completely differently outside of context, which allows it to be very spreadable. It's good. Time to keep losing clashes because, oh my god, even my, like, good people cannot handle this. Don't you love it that these dudes, you have the very funny gimmick of, Captain Zords that turns heart healed SP by number of other surviving allies times 3, which means as the fight gets on, my clash numbers get worse. And then, oh, it's gonna be a real shame if this dungeon's whole shtick is that it drains your fucking sanity because you keep getting rest nodes you don't want, and it cannot opt out of. So we got a whole fucking helping of random bullshit. You know what? We gotta take some fucking chances here. I'd imagine it's kind of weird to see me like actively struggling with content, but my journey of just shitting on this game throughout the entire playthrough pretty much ends now. Like, look at this. I'm gonna restart again. That's too much damage. And this is gonna be like the theme. This is what happens when I let chat decide my team. And Punch a Bunch, fun team. Punches and kicks, very good, very satisfying. We even get to use a new ID, very cool. It'd be a real shame if 4 of these IDs are functionally worthless. Even Liu-ish, who can be done very good, needs time to build up, and we don't have time. Like, IDs that do not immediately start off at full throttle will start struggling immediately, and that time is now. Well, hope for the best. Oh yeah, and they get more speed. See, look, you can see the clash number. Despite the fact that Hong Lu rolled a 5 and the enemy rolled a 4, his offense level was high enough where he got a +2. So all of a sudden, I'm rolling a 5, he's rolling a 6. It's a 50-50, but he wins forcibly without my ability to stop that from happening. So, whoops, guess should have tried harder. Should have better numbers, idiot. And the fact that they're negative negative sanity IDs partially. They can't even make use of the fact that you can like drain their sanity or some such. Like if you brought in like a sinking team. Nope. Too bad. Die.
일반적인 상황에서는 선택하지 않을 방식이겠지만
적들이
이유가
흔들흔들
있었으리라 생각하오.
기회 아니야?
Hope for the best. God, I'm in unfocused encounter and I think to manually chain my clashes. Gross. Ugh. And who hates pierce nodes, am I right? Gamers. Also, they resist blunt damage. Very cool. Yes, I have a candy in my mouth. You're gonna wait a second.
카론이 안전벨트 잘하라고 있잖아.
Like, so this entire chapter is like, oh, use blunt damage. Ricardo's like 4 times weak to that. No, you need pierce. So all of a sudden, all of my units being blunt is, whoop.
이대로 가보자고.
Yeah. Yeah. Ow.
다소 유리하고요.
Again, now they've scaled too fast. They've done half of my health because you know I am entering this fight at full health. They've done half the health of my entire team, and they have effectively capped sanity. I didn't look at the exact number. And they've now doubled the amount of speed die that they have. So this is not the experience that I first had when I was going through this. I used like an actual team. Like, dear God, do not use Burn as your team, as you can clearly see. This is not the team that I had used. However, I did run into a similar-ish issue where I'll cover that when we get to it. But let's just say the boss we're about to get to had to be nerfed. Like right there, I got bad luck. Honglu just took half his health. Pamphlet got stag. Oh, that's a big boy stagger. Oof. Very bad, you know, very, very cool, very bad. Also, I don't know why he... Oh, it's because he got like a big boy stagger. So we're just going to immediately restart because we got unlucky. Whoops, I should have tried harder. Yeah, at some point I have to be wondering, like, when do I tell my audience to go fuck themselves and start using my own team? I got level 40s. These people are pretty solidly leveled up. Like, Gregor out here, 39, 40. 40 does not matter. We're at the content where your level you just need to be a better unit. Sometime. Like, you can win. Like, if all of them were 40, we'd be way better off. Like, you know, Honglu's out here being level 35, something, 35, 34, something like that, and he has a favorite. So obviously you can get something going. But, like, Dicey's level 40. And she can't tango with this group. She just can't. Whoops. And despite all the struggle, and part of this is gonna be like the fact that I'm streaming it. Like, people have done this with one guy. People have done solo versions of this. It's like a fully other viable strategy. Like, you're totally able to do that. But it's a complete transition in methodology of gameplay to be able to solo content. It was kind of a meme in Ruina. Like, there was never a time, even in, like, Gebra's floor, it was more optimal to keep your nuggets alive. At the end of the day, killing all 4 of your nuggets for 4 strength, it's not going to be good. It's not worth it. Don't believe the hype. It's a meme. And whereas in this game, there can actually be specific circumstances where soloing can work. Like, people fought Ricardo with base Ishmael with no ego. Like base ego, base Ishmael, they just did it. You can just do it. The caveat to that being that support passives are broken, so you can do extremely stupid things. which is not a mechanic in Ruina and therefore not really possible in that game.
야호.
But the main problem with what's going on screen right now is a lot of the units I'm using are units that have been in the game since the very beginning. These are, like... I can't even say Season 1. These are Season 0 units. They came with the launch of the game. And a lot of their mechanics, a lot of the Liu's whole shtick is that they gain clash power based on the amount of burn an enemy has. However, burn requires you to apply burn. How am I gonna apply burn if I can never get my foot in the door, you know? This works a lot better if I'm fighting one guy, where I can apply burn to one guy and then have all of my units get better. But it's the fact that Jesus Christ, the damage. But it's the fact that I have to apply burn to all of them. Like, Hung Lu's at half health. Everyone's taking a little bit of chip except for Merceau, and he is as close to death's door as possible because he also has bleed on him and will actively die. But, like, on screen right now, this is not enough burn. This is, and this guy has none. So none of these dudes have mechanics that would allow for them to actually clash reliably. So, like, let's say, for example, if the target is 6+ burn... Oh, that's actually not a clash power one. If the target is 5+ burn, coin power +1. That's a remarkable buff. That's a +3 to this entire coin. Entire skill. That's huge.
하실 말씀이 있나요?
Target is 6+ burn, coin power +2, that's a +4. Of course, coin power +1, that's a +2. But it's just not an ability I'm able to apply because I need to, like, stack it up. I don't have that initial turn 1 oomph that you need for this content. When you're doing... These are called unfocused encounters, but a lot of people just call them human fights. That's usually what they are. For human fights, you just need high-rolling baseline units, which Liu and, hell, a lot of the punchy team I have right now just are not. They just aren't. And guess what? This definitely isn't a boss fight in between another combat node, which isn't even a story. But luckily, we just did a fight. Now we have a lot more sanity. This fight's gonna go way better. Ignore the fact that, you know, he's dying. This is going way better. We just need to, you know, get lucky with these neutrals. See, look, she's at +45 sanity. Fine. She's gonna start shitting on him. It's fine now. We got past the first fight. We now have the sanity, and I got unlucky. I should have tried harder. Honestly, well, we're gonna watch Gregor die on screen before I restart. Neutral implies that it's either a 40% to a 60% chance to win the clash. So roughly a coin flip. I got unlucky on the coin flip. Gregor dies, now we restart. This is just what content in this game looks like if you have not prepared properly. Or, you let chat decide these things. Which I'm coming to realize was a mistake. Yeah. Just go down. Just punch him real good. See, now that she's getting some sanity, now she'll be able to start winning clashes. Because as much as people hype up, like, more coins is more damage. Universally. That is just a hard, fast, and true statement with how this game handles combat. The problem with more coins is it typically also means you need more sanity to roll higher. So the fact that I'm starting fights at 0 sanity means she's a very, very good unit, but all of her skills have just a, like, this is a 4 coin skill, this is a 3 coin skill, and I can tell you her other coin is another 4 coin, which is like the most amount of coins I think any ID in the game has. So her getting off the ground really sucks. Also, Gregor just died again, so we get to backtrack. And let me tell you, this is going to be every single time. Because boss fight, there's going to be a heal node, which will then reset your sanity. So, this is more so for the sake of the fact that I'm streaming this, and people don't want to be here for hours, I would presume. we're gonna forfeit, and we're gonna enter with an actual team. This is not where I had to give up, because in my first time through, I had to swap teams. More so just because that one, like the mini boss we're about to get into is like asinine for the specific team I was using, and I'll get into it when we get into it. But I gotta make fucking concessions because I am a streamer. No, don't leave that far. Also, Christmas is here. We're not there yet. We'll do it tomorrow. Don't bump me all the way back. This. Team 1, very pretty. It's going away. Now I get to make my team for a second. Who would be good in this content? Well, I'm bringing my boy. He is my favorite, and will probably for the rest of the game continue to be my favorite. Very good. Very high base damage, very high roller, and then he just gets even higher numbers when he gets going. It's very nice. Very good on that one. Who's another really solid baseline roller? Oh, you know what? I know who. Ting Tang. It's not anyone can boast a classic one skill rolling a 30. Not many can match up to that one. And we've already got a difference in damage types. This has a lot of pierce and slash. This has a lot of pierce. Primarily a lot of pierce, but this gives you both pierce and slash on these two. Now we need some blunt damage, preferably. And these two also generate different resources, where this one has a wrath, this one's got a lust. Very nice. You know who's also really good? Throw on her. Very solid base numbers. It generates completely different stuff than this fucking wrath, and she's all blunt. Very fantastic. Very good. There's lots of damage type. Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. Who's just a good team? I don't want to level you up. Your booty. You can come. Hell, you know what? I haven't used her. I don't use her too often anymore. Fucking 7 Otis is pretty solid. She's got good numbies. There are some numbers in that Otis. Damn, this bitch can hold so many numbers. And literally, what might be the best unit in the game. Like top 3, and then we're gonna bring the other top 3. It's Arheath and Claire and W Ryoshu, top 3, and then we got 3 others. Boom, perfect. So now we're just gonna bring support passives. Actually, except no, I'm not at all, because I want these people to get XP. So, you. Yeah. That'll work. And, you, actually. Yeah. And, yeah. I'm happy enough with this. Oh, I have to bring Ishmael, that's right. Oh, shit, wait a minute. Reindeer-ish is very funny, so we're gonna bring her. He was actually the source of some of the very first memes in this entire game. All because of this skill right here, Mind Whip. At less than 8 charge count, target a random unit, including your own team. So you would have so many times where you'd walk into a fight, click win rate, and then Ishmael would blow up your Gregor. 100 to 0 image. It does so much damage. Like this does so much damage. Assuming it rolls all heads, it's 8, 14. I think that's math. Yeah, 8, 14, 8, 18, 24. It's so much damage. And it inflicts sinking, so it's constantly draining your sanity. And it raises stagger threshold, so the first 2 coins will like insta stagger you, so they start doing like double damage. It just blows up units. It's so good. Yeah, good. I just don't want to have to deal with fucking end player sanity mechanics. We're not here for that right now. Bring Los Marachis Jefe. It's funny. Perfect. Alright.
몸 좀 풀어볼까요?
Punch-a-Bunch has been unfortunately punch-a-benched. And that's just because it is just about one of the worst teams that we could bring in here. It's not been like handcrafted to be optimal. Now let me, excuse me, we're going to skip all the cutscenes we've already seen. But them being very low baseline clashers and dealing almost exclusively blunt damage. Oh. And their burn, which is the worst damage dealing status ailment in the game. So, ooh, it's not great. It's not pretty, huh? And then you. Perfect.
몸 좀 풀어볼까요?
Now we just gotta be careful because now we gotta gotta keep an eye on whether or not reindeer-ish will just decide to kill my own team. I probably should have done a bit more of a reasonable team because this team it's a bit generalist and it's not who I actually use for content. I just threw a team together, but it's like a very solid team. Like this team will get you places. Like this team can do it. Ignore the fact that W Ryoshi just lost a clash. These things happen. Also the fact that I'm a fucker and I'm using a Walpurgis Nacht ID, so, you know, I'm just a bad person. I probably should, like, fix that. Like, if people are gonna be like, what if I wanted to do this on my own and I don't have the Walpurgis Nacht ID? Well, whoops. I could have tried to pick a team while, like, 2-star IDs. I could probably do that, actually. But it would take longer, and I'm already here. We wasted
직접
enough.
나서지.
씹는 맛이 있는데?
The main problem is that it's just kind of expensive. That's the main rub of it. If someone was like, oh yeah, here, let me just use what team did this guy use to use the content? Oh, like, oh, these are very expensive. All of them are 3 stars. One of them is a limited 3-star. They're almost all of them are at up type 4, max level.
전하나.
But that's actually the benefit of getting like a generalist team. Like it's close to my generalist team, but it's not quite there. Like for example, on my team, I don't use range. See right there, Mind Whip. No, we're not doing that. I'm gonna make you stop doing that immediately. In my generalist team, I do not use reindeer-ish. I use Spice Cookie Song. But it's usually a good idea to have your first like big investment, you know, fully up-tied units, like Focus Fire. Oh, I just had her Mind Whip. Oh shit. We'll be fine. Okay, good. She didn't, you know, target the wrong person. If you're gonna have like a team you want to focus fire down, like you're just getting new into this game, you're trying to like just rush to being able to do content. You want a team that can do everything. Like, I would need to check. I forget the exact team, but I know it's Arheath because Arheath has got top 3. I know I use Enclair, Arheath, and I don't actually use W Ryoshi because I don't like how DDEDR blows herself up randomly, but that's just me. I use Arheath because he's a lot of pierce damage, has an extremely high roller, has what might be the best skill in the entire game of quick suppression, because 4 fragile and that much rupture and that much damage, and it's so stupid. Followed by the fact that he has a great passive, benefits charge, facilitates bleed, you know, he does everything. I use Regret Faust, actually, but if we didn't want to use her, I'd probably say W Ryoshu. I do regret Faust because I adore any ID that has AoE. I actually use all 3 of the IDs in the game that have base kit AoE in some capacity. Regret Faust's skill 2 and skill 3 can hit multiple units. As well as the fact that she brings more ego resources that I need. She is a Faust ID, and so therefore I can Fluid Sack at my discretion. Ace tier. God, you need that. And she's blunt, which he does not have, so it fills up more damage slots. Then I use Enclair, because also blunt damage, but Enclair then lets me get burn and more bleed. And again, like no one's hitting harder than Enclair. Enclair's skill 3 can roll up to like a 90, which is so fucking stupid. Like nothing else competes with that in the game. And then burn bleed, very nice. I use Ting Tang Hong Lu because that's more slash, and as well as the fact that the absurd amount of raw damage he has, more bleed facilitation, and if you ever kill something with Mutilate, that's AoE. Spice Bush Yi song is
적확한 하나비였어.
mainly there just because he has a chance of doing AoE on his 2, and I find that fun. But he's got solid base numbers and allows for a little bit of a sinking play.
씹는 맛이 있는데?
다소 유리하고.
And then I think my final unit is actually Dicey Rodion, which is even more blunt damage, which we actually kind of overly utilized blunt damage on that team now that I'm thinking about it. But it's fine. 3 units are dedicated to blunt, 3 are to everything else. And then I use Dicey Rodion primarily just because she has Rhyme Shank and allows me to make Spice Bushy song super stupid. And that's it. That's the content. That's the context. It's not because it's the best team. It's because it's the team that absolutely makes a joke of almost all content in the game, whilst also allowing me to just click the win rate button. And then if I ever need big buttons, I have a lot of big buttons. Fluid Sack and Rhyme Shank on the same team is some pretty big buttons. And also Dicey and Enclair both have Gloom, which is super nice. And look, we're back to where we left off. Also, you can see on this team's actually super nice too. You can see this team generates all the ego resources I could need. Nice.
제압을 준비합니다.
And now let's see how well this team handles the fight we were getting filtered by.
피쿼드 타운에 온 걸 환영한다.
Well, the town... I didn't want to waste 30 minutes not progressing, I'm gonna be honest. I did not want to be in this position ever. 30 minutes of this fucking VOD or filler.
걱정 마시오.
탈출 개체
최후의 혈도 하나만 남아있다면
Got a sanity reset.
어떻게라도 보존될 테니.
But now we have a multiple of the damage types. Like this is Pierce. Oh yeah.
늦으면 메피랑 먼저 갈 거야.
Do not mind whip, please.
직접 나서지.
At least not yet. She can mind whip when she gets more charge, which she now has. Now she can mind whip at her discretion.
날 뛰어보라고. 씹는 맛이 있는데?
Oh my god, it's so good.
먹였어.
And see, look at that. The fight's like solved. We already won. No damage really taken.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
Mind whip it up. Aww. That's unfortunate. The world of difference between not even fully strengthened Liu punch team versus just a smattering of good units. I say good units as 3 of them are the best units. People kind of debate over which one's actually the best. Okay, we actually have 2 of them. Ting Ting's also probably like top 5. Probably top 5, top 10. I don't know, once you start getting out of top 3, because it's pretty locked in that most people think Arheath, Enclair, and W Ryoshu are ace tier. But you start getting into the nitty-gritty when you go either which one's the best, because they all do different things, typically, and what's beyond that, you know? Like, what are the other, like, what's top 5, you know? Then you start getting into some nitty-gritty.
적들이 흔들흔들.
I'll just softball and say Ting Tang. God, he's so good. I don't think anyone's gonna be too controversial about that one. I don't know. Go watch Esku. He'll tell you. He's better at actually having videos that relay that content.
제압 완료.
승객이 딱 콩 한 방 먹였어.
우리가 우세. 서둘러 끝내보자고.
직접 나서지. 쓰러졌다.
The same fight that I had to restart probably at least 10 times. Or the 2 fights done easily with only clicking auto battle in like 2 minutes. No time at all, time to get murdered.
싱싱한 풀이
Yeah,
보이네.
I'll tell you this is the fight I had to back out on. This fight's kind of ridiculous.
변변찮은
I might
선물들이
be
나왔나 봐.
tipping my hand a little too early. This is probably the hardest fight in the game right now. At least in the like main story. I don't know if it's been nerfed yet or they like or what, but oh Jesus.
또 누가?
내 대선원들은 누구보다 충성스럽지. 그 중에서도 여기 있는 선원은 세상에서 가장 훌륭한 작살잡이다. 그러니까 이곳에서 나를 공격한다는 건 그저 자살 행위 아니겠나?
진짜 저 작살 크기 좀 봐.
제대로 꿰뚫는다면 추스를 만한 뼈도 없겠군. 저자, 전사다.
아니 그딴 말 하면서 웃지 좀 말라고. 소름 끼치네.
Ah, here we go.
가능하면
Oh, I like the question marks for your name. Very, very ominous. At turn start, gain offense level and defense level by the number of surviving allies, not including this one. Get the start of turn, if not at minus 70, 45 SP, heal percentage of number of SP, SP heal. If it's minus 45 SP, recover panic a turn and reset SP to 0. Alright, cool. Every time a Pequot Town faction ally is defeated, lose 1 poise count and 10 SP. Lower this unit HP gets, the more damage this does. This one in particular is batshit insane. And if you start getting Mr. Question Mark over here low, you will start being one-tapped. It's very fun when you start relying on... There's always some RNG when it comes to fights in this game. And hitting one bad clash resulting in instant fucking death is a bit much. Turn in, if minus 50% of max HP, move on to Phase 2. This unit's HP does not drop below 1 before Phase 2 starts. Phase 2 start, heal to 50% of max HP, summon 4 allies, inflict Prey Mark against 1 animated, so it's part of every turn. Oh! Oh! It did get nerfed. Maybe. It doesn't say it. But I will tell you, injected hatred and animosity, this used to also cleanse all status ailments. I don't know if it still does. We'll keep an eye out for it. But when I was going through this, I was using a Rupture team. So a lot of this was a very slow and methodical early game. Slowly, like, managing clashes to not deal too much damage to scale the indomitable Harpooneer to get too high or to trigger Phase 2. I was just trying to slowly weave my way into stacking up Rupture count until I could just blow him up in one turn. And then the moment I get to this threshold, boom, all Rupture's gone, and all of a sudden, there's, you know, Phase 2 big apeshit version of boss staring me down. I've already pissed away all my resources, and, it was so unfun at that point, I just restarted the whole dungeon and said, fuck it. I could have won, I had it happen almost multiple times until I got unlucky with one clash and blew up because there's a fun fucking ability. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm not dealing with that shit. All Pequod crew targets this unit take 50% more damage from the Pequod crew. Okay. I will tell you if the nerf is real. We shall find out.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
I should probably list out their actual abilities, but what can you do?
유효타 좋아. 계속 집중하지.
Nice.
유감 없는 싸움.
Ah, there come the
기대하겠어.
friends. Now we're at the old counter gaming. Very fun, very cool. Now we get to deal with all of the jobbers that are lying around. So you know the whole fact that during the entire first 30 minutes of this stream I was struggling against these guys? Imagine now having to fight the exact same fight, except now there's a boss in the room as well. The enemies that I was getting filtered with for 30 minutes, yeah, they are now a normal encounter. I mean, I guess they always have been, but even still. Luckily, these ones are pretty weak. I think that might have also been a fact of the nerf, because they seem to have 50 HP. But even still, like, Jesus. Oh, I'm sorry. Was your team struggling to fight just one of them? What if there was 4 of them that keep randomly respawning?
날 뛰어보라고.
대성공이야. 칼은 신나. 노래 부를 내피가 배고파 있어. 잘 됐다. 그치?
Let's go, so we got. Yeah. Summon 4 allies, apply Prey Mark next turn, inflict bleed. Inflict bleed, offense level down, bind bleed. Gain poise? Ooh. Oh, yeah, deep breath. This is the counter skill. Turn end, gain plus coin boost next turn by the number of surviving allies. So now, he's getting +2 coins. Ugh. Do not consume poise count, but bleed count. Bleed, 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 bleed. Poise, 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 poise. Yeah, okay. You're a pleading boys unit. And Cutthroat is starting to be a terrifying ability. Okay. We have peaked when I'm out here popping eco in the nth fight before anything has even started.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
Maybe Mind Whip was a little overkill for this rando, but it's funny.
소란이 줄었네.
아까처럼만 해. 그럼 이번 전투도 쉽게 갈 수 있을 거야.
승리를 위해서라면.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
무불아위.
Nice coin boost shit. Idiot. Also nice sanity.
내피가 배고파 있어.
There we go. And then this is gonna trigger the
그치?
phase 2. So we use all of our baby moves first.
깡창.
빈틈 투성이로.
Turns like this are very nice for like charge teams or hell burn teams. Just because it's the ability to wait. Let's see.
저 사람들
Okay,
좀 지친 것 같아.
so it does still cleanse all debuffs. Very fun. Very cool. Ugh. Yeah, and not only was this immediately breaking away from the whole stagger thing, this inflicts a mark. They're doing a shitload more damage because of all the health that they've lost, and now they've spawn in what is effectively an ambush spawn, if you want to use Fire Emblem terms.
깡참.
벌써 끝나가는
Ow.
정신이 뭐냐? 터졌군요.
빈틈 투성이로고.
완벽한 한방.
Ow,
걸? 내 피가 배고파했어. 잘됐다. 그치?
내가 눈에 새겨주지. 맘.
Oh, really? I didn't hit heads on that one? Okay. Thanks, Ting Tang. Very cool. God, it does so much damage. And that's not even the main point of quick suppression. It's the fact that it applies 4 fragile, which is absurd.
내 피가 배고파했어.
Yeah, look at this. It didn't even give him the bleed.
그치?
Ugh. You know what, Ting Tang, get back in there. You need to try it again. It didn't work the first time, just do it again until it forcibly starts working.
눈에 새겨주지.
I'm not actually sure if this fight got nerfed. I know that they had reported that something was getting nerfed in here. This seems way easier than one I had done, to be fair. Like, it's the exact same problem that I had when I was streaming Ruina, that because I've already done it, I can just... It's same with the Ricardo fight, like, especially. Like, I just cannot properly quantify how difficult a fight is, because I've already done it and know what I'm doing. The Ricardo fight especially. That fight is absolutely terrifying. We just got very, very fortunate that Punch a Bunch just ate him.
그리고 아니야. 뱃사람.
왜 말 띄엄띄엄 거슬리는 단축할 것도 아니라면 그저 지루한 시간 늘리기일 뿐이다. 순순히 비켰어야지. 당신 머리통이 날아가게 생겼잖아.
그리고 너는 맞아. 뱃사람.
그래. 우린 같은 뱃사람이니까. 키케그!
와우, 방금까지 머리통을 어쩌고 하지 않았어?
벗을 만난다는 건 그런 것 아니겠소? 그렇게라도 안아버리지 않으면 금방이라도 어딘가로 날아갈 것 같지? 머리색 못 잊어. 이름 알아. 하지만 안 되는 행동이야. 선장에게 공격.
왜? 나는
공격도 하면 나도 공격해. 그땐 죽어. 죽이거나 둘 중에 하나는.
자, 어쩔 건가? 여기 있는 스타벅이 너그러운 마음 실은 너희들을 구조했고 내 마을에 초대까지 해주었지만 너희는 그 은혜를 개박살내고 나를 공격하려고 했지. 만약 일반적인 항해였다면 그대로 줄에 매달아 호수에 던져 넣고 배 밑바닥을 훑게 만들었을 텐데. 너무 그렇게 겁먹은 표정으로 보지 말도록. 다행이지. 왜냐하면 나는 너그러운 마음씨를 지닌 선장이니까. 방금까지의 결례는 넘어가 주지. 나는 너희에게 물어볼 것이 있고 너희 또한 마찬가지겠지. 그러니 나와 대화를 나누려는 용의가 있다면 내 선장실로 들어오도록. 어디까지나 평화롭게 말이야.
야, 저 뒤에 있던 놈들 방금까지 눈을 보라리다가 아무 일도 없었다는 듯이 사라져버렸는데?
선장, 용서했어. 그렇다면 다들 용서해. 나도.
방금까지 죽자 살자 덤벼든 놈을 두고 저런 식으로 등을 돌리는가?
그래, 자신이 있다는 거겠지. 얼마든지 기습을 당해도 우리들을 막아낼 선원들이 있다는 것. 그리고 우리가 저자를 공격해서 얻는 이득보다 손실이 많다는 것. 방금 조형된 그 상황 하나만으로 자신이 절대적인 존재라는 걸 공표한 셈이군.
평화롭게 대화라니 가당치도 않아. 들어가죠. 저 개자식이 어떤 말을 짓거릴지 들어보자고요. 어디로도 도망은 못 칠 테니까. 저 새끼는 우리는.
To break out of it again, I'm getting a nasty feeling that I distinctly remember this chapter, this like dungeon section being exceptionally long. I really don't. Well, winning a clash using a Gloom Affinity skill. One ally with the lowest SP heals 5 SP. Not bad. A lot of cutscenes ahead of us. I'm hoping it'll be squeezable within the next... It's only 2 hours. Oh, jeez. I was already annoyed at having to break this into 2 pieces. That might need to go into 3 even.
선원마다 배당되는 금화야. 쓸만한 재료들을 건져 올리거나 인어들을 사냥하는 데 성공하면 받을 수 있지.
금화는 누가 주는 거지?
그거야 당연히 선장님이지.
고래 뱃속에서 경제 활동이라도 있다는 것인가? 이곳에서는 그 말을 얻을 수도 가질 필요도 없을 텐데.
말했잖아. 우리 있는 곧 밖에 나간다니까. 그리고 나는 벌써 63개의 금화를 받을 수 있어. 이 정도라면 도시로 나가서 쓸만한 배를 살 수 있을지도 모르지. 그 사이에 물가가 변한 게 아니라면. 아이바. 혹시 청새치 항구선을 들린 거라면 말해줘. 가오리 철판 해물집은 아직 건재한가?
오, 맛있어 보이는 이름인걸? 위치가 어딘데?
이스마엘, 아까는 정말 놀랐어. 너를 이곳에서 만날 거라고는 생각도 못해서 말이야. 밖에 나가면 술통 내기라도 하는 건 어때? 어? 예전처럼 말이야. 그래, 다른 선원들이랑 인사는 나눴어? 그리고 또 머리는 왜 또 그렇게 길게 기른 거야? 거치적거린다더니.
질문이 많네요. 다들 저랑 이야기도 나누고 싶어 하지 않던데요. 적개심이 가득한 표정이던데.
이곳에선 다른 배에서 온 주민들도 간간히 있었지만 모두 하루를 채 못 넘겼어. 여태까지 버틴 건 우리 말곤 없지. 선장님이 해결책을 알려주셨거든.
해결책?
몸과 머릿속이 하얗게 되지 않을 수 있는 유일한 방법. 보다시피 선장님만 아니었다면 우리는 이곳에서 인어로 변했을 거야. 마을에는 아무도 안 남아 있었겠지. 그러니까 선장님을 적대하는 자는 공동의 적이 되는 거야. 선장님과 뜻을 같이 하지 않는 것은 우리 모두를 죽이는 거랑 다를 바 없으니까.
이런 사람이었나요? 스타벅. 꽤 선장에게 반목하던 모습으로 기억하고 있었는데.
그래?
애초부터 선원들을 죽을 운명으로 이끌고 간 게 누군데. 스타벅, 피커드호의 1등 항해사. 모두에게 좋은 사람이 되고 싶어 했죠. 동시에 선장과 가장 가까운 선원이었고요. 가까운 만큼 의견 다툼도 많았지만 상관없었죠. 에이헤브는 평등하다고 말할 정도로 모두에게 관심이 없었으니.
누추한 자리를 내주는 건 이해를 해주도록. 롬주라도 있으면 금상첨화였을 테지. 하지만 아무리 기다려도 술병만큼은 흘러들어오지 않다고.
협상은 제가 주도해보도록 하겠습니다, 관리자님. 이스마엘, 저자는 이성적인 판단이 힘들 것 같고 관리자님은 째깍거리는 소리만 들리니. 에이헤브 선장이라 했나? 우리는
감히 맞춰볼까? 너희는 이 창백한 고래로부터 삼켜진 무언가를 찾으러 자진해서 들어왔고, 그렇다는 건 너희 역시도 인어가 될 수 있지 않는 다른 방법을 찾을 거고.
뭐 여기까지 온 이상 굳이 숨길 필요는 없겠지.
우리는 어떤 물건을 찾고 있어. 어떻게 생겼냐면 말이오.
아니, 잠깐. 그렇게 함부로 알려줘도 되는 거야? 좀 더 상의한 후에.
아, 잠깐만. 그렇게 함부로 알려줘도 되는 거야? 좀 더 상의한 후에. 아, 잠깐. 그렇게 함부로 알려줘도 되는 거야? 좀 더 상의한 후에.
좀 더 상의한 후에.
아,
알고 있다. 황금색으로 빛나는 막대기 같은 것을 찾고 있겠지. 내가 틀렸나?
뭐?
난 그게 어디에 있는지 알고 있다. 심지어 너희를 그곳으로 데려다 줄 수도 있지.
허풍뿐인 말일 수도 있겠지.
맞아요. 어쩌면 저희끼리 이야기한 걸 엿들었을 수도 있고요.
내가 보았다는 증거를 말해주지. 그 가지에서는 멀리서부터 황금빛을 발산한다. 눈부시면서도 눈을 멀지 않게 할 정도로 따뜻한 느낌이지.
황금가지를 알고 있다는 것은 사실인 듯하군요. 관련되지 않은 사람이 알 수 있는 정보의 한계를 넘었습니다.
그래 보아야 위치는 가르쳐주지 않을 심산이겠지만
내가 왜 숨길 거로 생각하지? 난 감출 게 아무것도 없어. 우리 확실하게 하지. 오히려 감추려고 하는 건 자네들이지 않나? 그 막대의 이름이 황금가지라고 했던가. 그렇다면 황금가지라는 건 이 빌어먹을 고래의 가장 중심에 있다.
중심이라?
고동 소리가 들리는 곳. 이것이 살아 움직이게 만드는 근원. 심장. 악을 뿜어내는 지독한 심장. 하지만 다행으로 여기시게. 마침 우리 피코드호의 목적지 또한 같으며 고래를 잡으러 떠나는 출항까지 얼마 남지 않은 상태였으니 심장을 터뜨리는 것만이 이곳을 나갈 수 있는 유일한 방법이기 때문이거든.
신기하네요. 우연의 일치일까요? 어떤 점이 신기한 거죠? 심장까지 가려고 많은 시간 준비하셨을 텐데 저희가 마침 딱 왔다는 게요.
운명이란 때로 그런 것 아니겠나. 나의 운명은 내가 이 창백한 고래의 심장을 꿰뚫게 하기 위해 움직이고 있다고 할 수 있지. 나는 이곳에서 너희들의 이빨을 다 합쳐도 모자랄 만큼 수많은 항해를 시도했으며 곳곳을 돌아다녔고 남김없이 기억하고 있다. 또한 나는 호수에서 이것의 가죽을 뚫어내기 위해 해보지 않은 시도가 없었지. 미리 수고를 덜어주자면 세상의 모든 무기들을 쑤셔박아도 이것의 가죽은 알사의 요새와 같아서 세상 그 어떤 것보다 단단하고 질길 거다.
언제나 박아 넣었어. 내 작살. 상처는 냈지만 뚫을 수 없어.
뭐 믿지 못하겠다면 너희들이 들고 있는 그 무기들로 시도를 해봐도 좋겠지.
흠집조차도 나지 않았긴 했소만. 저자의 말이 정말이라면 쪽비 노인이나 LCA 팀의 시도가 다 소용이 없어진다는 거잖아. 시간이 지나도 구하러 올 수 없다는 거고.
우리는 누구보다 알고 있다. 아무도 구하러 오지 않는 이곳을 제정신으로 버티기란 힘들어. 불쌍한 우리 선원들을 보아라. 흰색의 점막이 금방이라도 온몸을 덮을 것 같지만 필사적으로 버티고 있는 저들의 모습을.
없어. 여기 아무것도, 어떤 것도.
위장에서 흘러들어오는 배 파편들을 건져내며
It's gonna be a weird thing to bring up, but I'm gonna be honest, I am almost never referred to as Yoshi. Not that it's like
어떻게 견디는 거야?
wrong. It's just weird to read that. Like it just took me for a second there, being like, wait a minute, what?
선장님의 말만 따르면 언젠가 이곳을
Also,
나갈 거라는 믿음. 우린 그걸로 버티는 거야.
there you go.
그러니 이것은 제안이다.
Or if we wanted to go the politically correct route, when I was a stupid child, I always thought that bio meant like biomechanical, which is what that's meant to imply. Like I'm a robot.
나는 이놈의
Whoops.
심장을 터뜨릴 거다.
But that's not at all what bio actually means.
이제는
아.
실행만 남은 상태지. 우리의 목적은 같지만 전리품은 다르다. 내 계획을 도와준다면 너희는 황금가지를
Fantastico.
챙기고
Oh man, Western is so good. There's so many secrets in
바깥으로
Western.
나가게 되겠지.
잠시
Whereas prehistory kind of just has the one. I think there's like one small hidden area, but it's mainly the one thing. There I go again, talking over cutscenes. But anyway, in Western, yeah, some of them are longer or shorter. So with Western, I forget his name, but how did the chapter end? Because there's multiple endings to that chapter. How did it end?
전체의 귀를 돌아다녀야 한다. 배는 그때도 필요할 것이다.
여차하면 저자들의 배를 강탈하는 것도.
그렇게 다 들리게 말하시면 어떡해요? 우리 배 복잡해. 조작법, 운전은 오로지 할 수 있어. 이곳 선원들만이.
결국 틀렸잖아요.
뗏목부터 시작하려면 시간은 어느 정도 걸리지?
The morally correct answer.
산성에게도 견딜 수 있을 재질로 제작하려면 예상 시간은 아마
Fantastic. I mean, it was never anything explicit to begin with, but fantastic.
제안이라 예상한 만큼 개소리네요. 저자는 언제나 같아요. 그럴듯한 개소리로 사람을 죽음까지 몰고 가죠. 이번에도 다를 바 없어요.
저도 뭔가 꺼림칙한 사람이라는 생각이 들어요. 우리끼리 할 방법은
혓바닥이 길수록 조심해야 해.
저 사람들은
Every
심장을
chapter's
터뜨리고
usually
나가기
got some
위해서
kind of
많은
sauce.
시간을 쏟아부은
They're
것
all
같은데
distinct. It's very
우리가
fun.
당장 해결할 수 있는 걸까요?
Like modern day and far future are as
언제까지
about as
버틸 수
opposite
있을지도
as you can
잘
get, for
모르겠어요.
example. Like they're completely diametrically opposed. It's very fun.
이곳을 곳곳이
And I will
잘
not
알고
at all
있는 자는 없어
extrapolate on what I mean by that.
그럼 우리가 인어가 되어서 서로를 죽이려 하거나
Because spoilers are no good.
둘 중에 하나가 되는 거야?
붉은 시선께서 우리를 버릴 리가 없어.
Don Quixote, he has already proven multiple times he
이럴 때
probably
의견
would.
정하는 방법은 간단해. 배틀 로얄이다.
I can tell you Ninja will probably be way more involved. If you want something shorter, Chinese would probably be the better first pick. I'm gonna be honest, like, unless you look up a fucking guide, they do it right in the intro, so it's not a spoiler. The whole shtick with the ninja, as they tell you in the intro, is there's 100 dudes. You have to get to the end of the area, and you can either stealth your way through the whole last chapter and never fight anyone the whole way through, or you can fight absolutely every single person. And, like, do you kill all 100 or do you avoid all 100? Even doing my best, because I don't like looking up walkthroughs for these things, I only found, like, 60. If I was going for, like, a kill 'em all route. I have no idea where they are. So, I'm gonna be fully honest. Just ignore whatever the fuck the mechanic of Ninja is. Ugh. That one is absurd. but there's a ton of secrets because it's a ninja area. There's a lot of little sneaky ninja secrets all over the place. That one's a really fun chapter, though.
당연하지. 조금만 생각을
Ahab is a very fun
내가
character.
내세우는 조건은 전부 너희에게 절박할 정도로 필요하고 맞아떨어진다.
Good luck with that. I will warn, though, there are multiple I've never done it personally. I have not looked up a walkthrough to this day. I still don't know how to do it. But I will say, there are multiple points where you can permanently miss out on them.
쥐어잡는 것부터 배워야겠군.
I'm not going to tell you not to look up a guide, because it's that kind of game. I personally find looking up guides to be sacrilege and means you're enjoying the game wrong, but if you're gonna, like, genuinely try it, you're probably just gonna need a guide. Because whereas a lot of the other secrets you can kind of fess out yourself, you know? I don't know if it's possible in Ninja without, like, absurd amounts of trial and error. I tried stealth once. I did the kill 0, but you get to a point where it's like, I don't know if there's some, like, secret path, but it's like the boss of the chapter. He just beats your ass, and I just, like, I don't know how you're meant to win. I don't know, I did it a long time ago. Maybe I was bad.
난 지금도 당신을 잘근잘근 씹어먹고 싶은 심정이야.
정말 훌륭한 표정으로 뱃사람다운 말을 내뱉을 수 있게 되었군, 이스마엘.
당신이 내 이름을 기억해 줄 줄 몰랐는데.
어떻게 모를 수 있겠나. 내가 이 고래에게 삼켜지기 직전, 넌 난파된 뱃조각 틈바구니에서 내 이름을 목청껏 불렀지. 어제처럼 생생하게 들려오는군. 그때 나는 네 눈을 보았고 찰나였을지라도 네 마음속 모든 것을 알아낼 수 있었지. 네가 그토록 원하는 게 무엇인지를. 그러니 네가 원하는 걸 내어주겠다.
또 무슨 헛소리를 늘어놓을지. 내가 바라는 건
나의 심장이지. 있잖아, 이스마엘. 나는 네 인생 최대의 소원이 탄생하는 모습을 제일 처음 유일하게 목도한 사람이야. 그때 네 안에서 깨어난 단 한 가지의 집념이 악에 바친 시선과 고함으로 사정없이 나를 찌르고 있었거든. 아마 너는 그 생각만으로 버티며 이곳까지 온 거겠지? 저들이 찾겠다는 황금가지. 넌 그런 것 따위 안중에도 없지. 그렇고 말고. 내게는 나의 심장이 황금가지요, 보물상자이자 금화일 테니. 나는 알았지. 너는 여전히 훌륭한 뱃사람의 작살잡이라는 걸. 나와 눈을 처음 마주칠 때부터 열렬한 원한이 담긴 시선으로 나를 찔러댔잖아. 단 한순간도 피하는 일 없이. 역시 너는 작살잡이에 가장 어울려. 내가 고래였다면 나서서 내게 심장을 바쳤을 거다.
심장을 주겠다고?
그 말이 허풍이 아니라는 건 네가 더 잘 알겠지, 이스마엘. 너는 내 뭉쳐진 이 열망이 어디를 향하는지 잘 아니까. 내가 이 고래의 심장을 터뜨려 주게만 한다면, 그렇다면 나는 내게 기꺼이 내 목숨을 내놓겠다. 어떤 식으로 죽이든 방법은 상관없어. 그대로 받아들여 주지. 자, 지금이라도 내 동맥을 끊어내고 싶지 않나? 내가 목적을 달성한다면 이렇게 동맥이 가장 잘 보이고 튀어나올 수 있도록 목도 친절히 꺾어줄 수 있어. 이 날카롭게 다듬어진 작살. 어떻게든 고통스럽게 나를 죽이는 생각을 하며 매일 밤을 갈았겠지. 그것이 사명이자 운명처럼 느껴왔을 거다. 마치 나처럼. 내가 누구보다 너를 잘 이해하지. 그 애절한 마음을, 증오스러운 나날을.
그래. 지금 당장이라도 너를 찢어 죽이는 걸 간신히 참고 있어.
하지만 하지 않지. 너는 너무 잘 알거든. 시퍼런 날이 든 작살이 목에 나 있는 솜털을 긁고 있는 지금 이 순간조차 날 죽이기엔 네가 너무 약하다는 걸 알아. 불쌍하고 영리하기까지 하지. 제 주제를 너무 잘 알잖아. 참 다행이야. 네가 멍청해서 이렇게 굴러 들어오는 기회를 걷어차는 한심한 선원이 아니라는 게. 창백한 고래를 죽이기만 한다면, 내 손으로 끝을 낼 수 있다면, 그 다음에 나는 어떻게 되든 상관없어. 굴러 들어온 심장을 꿰뚫어라, 이스마엘. 나의 모든 것은 그때 완성돼. 그 이후는 어떻게 하든 상관없다. 좋아, 좋은 눈이야. 네 대답이 벌써 보여. 머릿속에는 이미 들렸지.
그래. 당신의 마지막 항해를 즐기길 바라지, 에이헤브. 그리고 모든 걸 바쳐서 심장이 터질 때까지 살아남아. 그렇게 완성된 당신을 기쁜 마음으로 쳐 죽여줄 테니.
그래, 벤놈이 목표를 가졌으면 그런 눈이어야지. 실망시키지 않는다, 이스마엘. 꿰뚫을 보람이 있는 용암고래보다 뜨거운 피를 토해내며 펄떡이는 심장이 되어주지.
심장에 가는 항해에 동참하기로
Oh my
했다면서.
god, that's such a good fucking character
든든하네.
introduction.
이렇게 흰 부분
Ah,
없이 이 팔팔한
10 minutes
사람들이
well
같이
spent. We know
해준다니.
immediately what's going on
그러고
and
보니
what her deal is.
너희는
Even if you
어떻게
don't know,
멀쩡한
like, haven't
거야?
actually read the book. I mean,
어떻게
everyone knows
이
Moby Dick, but
창백한
even still, God, they
고래의
kept her.
영향을 하나도 받지 않을 수 있지?
그건
그런 사정이 있어. 운이 좋았달까?
Oh, it's so good. Load faster. Also, It's something I brought up in my when I was doing this myself, but it's very fun that they break this up into 3 different story nodes, because at the end of the day, they're just cutscenes. When you see these books, it's just a cutscene. But the cutscenes are so long, and because this is technically also a mobile game, they don't want people probably on their phone, which I could not imagine experiencing this game through the absurdly, like, immersion-breaking experience of a phone. But I'd imagine they don't want people to be playing for like an hour just this is not Metal Gear. You're just watching. So you get 3 separate nodes of content. Take a break. You know, if you want to be done with cutscenes, you can go make yourself a sandwich or something.
심장까지 도달하기 위해서
Here we go.
꼭 완수해야만 하는 일들이 있다. 그리고 심장에 가기 위해서는 2 척의 배가 2개의 길을 각각 동시에 가야만 하지. 우리 피쿼드호는 최장을 지나갈 것이다.
질문.
해라.
최장을 왜 너희가 지나가지?
최장은 까마득히 넓으며 산성액이 거세다. 어떤 시간에 어디서 그것이 나오는지 누구보다 잘 알아야 하지. 그래서 이곳을 하나도 모르는 어리바리한 너희보다는 여기서 구를 대로 구른 놈들이 적합하다. 또한 최장은 인어들이 제일 많이 서식하는 구역이다. 평생을 인어와 고래를 잡는 데 썼던 우리 선원들에게 유리한 항해지. 그렇다고 특별히 까다롭게 강한 인어가 있는 것은 아니지만 수로 밀어붙이는 게 적합하다. 우리는 최장의 끝에서 그곳에 있는 가장 두꺼운 정맥을 잘라낼 것이다. 그럼 심장에서부터
Now the real question is, do whales normally have a pancreas? Because I don't know that. I'm not an expert on whales, but it seems believable enough for me to say, yeah, that's fine.
배로 연결된 심장의 우심방. 이곳은 길이 좁아서 작은 배로도 충분하다. 무엇보다 너희를 보내려는 길에 고래도 인어가 아닌 다른 것들이 흘러들어왔더군. 수는 적어 보였지만 쉽지 않은 싸움이 될지도 모르니까. 너희 같은 소수의 인원은 대규모 전투보다 그런 까다로운 놈들을 상대하는 게 적격으로 보였다. 너희가 없었다면 스타벅과 퀵해그를 포함한 정의 인원을 10명은 보내야 했겠지. 정의 선원이 한쪽으로 치중된 항해는 실패율을 올린다. 여간 골치 아프지 않을 수 없었어. 하지만 운명적으로 나타나주니 이제 와서 이렇게 모든 게 맞아떨어지는군. 운명이란 놈은 이렇게 제멋대로지.
Convenient.
에이헤브 씨가 말한 다른 것이라면 로보토미 지부를 삼키면서 같이 삼켜졌을 환상체일 가능성이 높군요.
오, 짐작 가는 게 있나 보군. 역시 너희를 마주한 건 운명이야. 이 고래를 잡을 운명. 너희가 그곳의 괴물들을 죽이고 마찬가지로 동맥을 자르면 우심방이 열린다. 그러면 우리는 심실히 만나는 이 심장에서 합류하는 거지. 그런 다음에는 내가 들어가서 그 안에 있는 심장의 핵, 즉 심장의 심장을 터뜨리는 거다.
심장 안에 심장이 또 있다는 것이요?
이렇게 큼지막한 것과 싸운 적은 없나 보군. 이렇게나 큰 놈이면 심장을 뛰게 하는 심장이 있는 건 당연한 거다. 아기 맥동하는 그 심장을 터뜨리고 나서야 비로소 볼 수 있으리라. 바깥쪽에서부터 새어나오는 자유로운 태양빛을. 그러고 나서는 내게 꽂아라. 내 숨을 먹게 할 최후의 작사를.
이곳의 지리를 파악하지 못했지만 작전의 체계를 생각해 보았을 때 합리적이라고는 판단됩니다, 관리자님.
난 여전히 마음에 안 들어. 저 정체도 모를 선장놈에게 모든 계획을 맡기고 명령에 따라야 한다니. 우리는 시계 대가리 말만 따르는 것 아니었냐? 남이 차려준 밥에 숟가락 얹는 것도 마음에 안 든다고. 차라리 우리 중에 몇 명이 미쳐서 인어 새끼가 되더라도 우리 손으로 끝장내는 게 맞지 않냐?
그거 참 대책 없는 발언이군. 그 정도 손실로 해결할 거라는 판단이 들었으면 내가 그렇게 제안했을 거다.
하지 그랬냐?
이곳은 정보량이 절대적으로 부족한 전장이자 미지의 공간이다. 언제 어떤 식으로 관리자님이 위험에 빠질지 알 수 없지. 승률 낮은 도박에 관리자님의 안전도 미지수인 작전을 그저 자존심 때문에 실행한다는 건 신임 머저리들도 꺼내지 않는 이야기다.
심장만 터뜨린다면 끝장낼 수 있어. 심장만 터뜨린다면.
자, 집결지에서 만나지. 모두 좋은 항해가 되도록. 나의 선원들이여, 그토록 고대하던 태양을 볼 날이 얼마 남지 않았다. 비릿하고 비열한 도시의 공기를 마시는 것도 말이야.
피쿼드 선원만 가능해. 이 배 운전. 그러니까 내가 해.
Flesh boat. And we're off. Floor 2. Welcome to the here. Whatever body part this is. That one, yeah.
싱싱한 풀이 보이네.
나는 네가 그리고 선원 모두가 죽은 줄 알았어.
나도 죽었다고 생각했어. 너 그리고 내가 있던 곳엔 죽은 사람 태우지 않고 파묻어 땅속으로 그리고 마음속으로 깊숙이 다시 못 꺼내게 잊어야 하니까.
내겐 내가 묻힌 사람이야?
나는 보고 싶어. 노을 이 생각으로 버텨 숨을 쉬지. 작살 던져.
바깥 세계는 싫었던 것 아니었어?
노을은 따뜻해. 언제나 어디서나.
인어들의 울음소리.
저렇게 돼 나가지 못하면 울부짖기만 해. 만나는 모든 것들을 죽이려고 녹아 천천히. 그러다가 아주 나중에는 처음부터 없었던 것처럼 흘러가. 되고 싶지 않아. 이노. 창백한 고래. 죽여야 해. 나갈 수 있어.
울음소리. 지하실에서는 매일같이 끔찍한 울음이 들려온다.
오케이. 이번엔 네가 지하실로 갈 차례네.
인호는 매일 밤마다 울부짖기 때문에 우리는 그것들을 지하실에 가둬야만 했지.
팁은 내려가기 싫어요. 무섭단 말이에요.
제비 뽑기 결과야. 안타깝지만 받아들이는 수밖에.
퀴키그, 이상하지 않아? 왜 우리가 이런 짓을 벌이고 있어야 하는 건데?
견뎌야 해. 이스마엘. 우리는 그 창백한 고래를 만날 수 있을 거니까. 어지않아. 모든 게 다 끝날 거라는 의미지.
그래, 곧 끝날 거야. 그래서 이 항해만 끝난다면
자기 위치도 제대로 안 지키면서 내 배에서 무슨 소란이지?
선장님, 팁은 지하로 내려가기 싫어요. 죽을 것 같이 무서워요. 겁이 나요. 팁은 밤마다 소리를 들어요. 지하실 문을 긁는 소리요.
정신 차려라, 피. 저건 그냥 인호다.
팁은 알아요. 팁은 봤어요. 저건 스톱선원이었잖아요, 선장님. 서비탄 보트가 그 창백한 고래에게 먹혀버려서.
피. 지하실의 소리는 듣지 말고 호수 너머를 보도록. 우린 창백한 고래를 만날 날이 머지않았다. 저것의 울음소리가 커진다는 건 그것이 가까이에 있다는 증거니까. 저것이 우리를 창백한 고래에게 이끌어줄 테니.
나는 그날 한밤중 에이헤브의 선장실로 몰래 들어갔다. 선장실에 무단으로 들어간다는 건 금기에 가까운 짓이었다. 뱃사람이라면 누구나 알고 있는. 만약 붙잡히면 선상 반란 혐의로 즉석에서 어떤 처분을 받아도 이상하지 않을 행위였지만 정확히 무슨 생각이었는지는 나 스스로도 알 수 없었다.
에이헤브 선장님, 저는 선장님?
선장의 눈은 침실 천장에 붙어있는 호수의 지도를 똑바로 향해 있었다. 미동 하나 없었다. 나는 그 모습을 쳐다보다 비틀거리며 선장실 문을 열고 나왔다. 그럴 수밖에 없었다.
선장실에 들어갔었니?
스타벅 씨.
선장님은 주무실 때도 언제나 눈을 똑바로 뜨고 계시지. 호수의 영역 어딘가에 있을 그 창백한 고래를 들여다보고 있는 거야. 선장님은 자고 있는 게 아니야. 언제나 깨어나 있지.
그래. 이곳은 선장의 소나귀. 우리는 온 몸이 움켜진 채로 허락해주는 만큼의 숨만 쉬고 있을 뿐.
얼른 들어가서 자. 선장님의 말씀대로 그 고래는 멀리 있지 않으니까. 선장님의 말씀은 간혹 이해가 어렵고 종종 다른 생각을 해주길 바라기는 하지만 그런 시간도 얼마 남지 않았어. 곧 자유로워질 수 있어. 창백한 고래를 잡고 배에서 내리면 우리는
And now we're at the weird tonal shift.
방금 벌레 말은 듣지 않는다는 사람 누구야?
Ripping you right out of the moment. And me as well.
탈출 개체.
I was fully immersed. Although I will admit, I'm not sure why the game is taking so long. Shouldn't have been quite that long. Would you mean the loading text? I don't remember that either. These new patches are getting increasingly flamboyant. Man, I don't know who in the patch notes is at the room. I don't know who in the patch notes is like, we need room undulation or loading screen undulation, but they need to check their priorities.
유효타 좋아. 집중하지.
소란이 줄었네.
우리가 우세. 서둘러 끝내보자고.
It is, isn't it? Ah, that's healthy. You see that? Very human. Like, this is definitely designed for our comfort. They're very creature comfort focused.
전투에 임하겠습니다.
Helps lull you to sleep.
씹는 맛이 있는데? 씹는 맛이 있는데?
씹는 맛이 있다네? Ooh, event note. Funky. So soon after setting sail. Whoa! We started hearing something shaking underneath the ship. What's that? Oh, Sooth! There may be a foe underneath our ship! Scratching! Yeah, that's ominous. We should check it out. What do? If we get to speed, checkpoint prompt, 50% chance of combat counter, gain the eagle gift upon victory. If I remember correctly, the one time I did this, I clicked this button and did not get the ego gift. So we're gonna click it and hope that we get the ego gift. You can ignore that? What the hell is... The annoyed sinner was about to say something, but stopped herself. Maybe she thought it was a waste of effort. These scratching noises are intensifying. To be fair, this is no normal ship, so maybe the ship just makes scratching noises from time to time? It has ceased. Sometimes inaction can be a god damn it. What ego gift you get there? I still have no idea. It's a mystery that shall haunt me until the end of time.
싱싱한 풀이 보이네.
No one has ever seen that. Not even in the game files. It's a mystery. No one's ever hit the 50-50.
가능하면 다치시지 않게 싸우셨으면 좋겠어요.
Ooh, okay, thank God. I was gonna say, I completely forgot about the fact that, yeah, I'm running reindeer-ish. I kind of need to pay attention so she doesn't just murder one of our team. Gregor doesn't need that. Gregor doesn't need this kind of stress, and Gregor's not even here right now.
아군들이 무너졌다. 재정비를 해보는 게 좋아.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
빈틈 투성이로군.
날 뛰어보라고.
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
직접 나서지.
Yeah, it does. Thank God. You're lucky this time.
그저 한 번 휘둘러 모두 쓸어버렸구려. 씹는 맛이.
날 뛰어보라고.
Also, the map is massively a maze, so good luck on that one.
유효타 좋아. 계속 집중하지.
It's one thing to find your way through. It's another thing to try to get them all. We entered a narrow waterway of sorts. Executive manager. I see mermaids swimming under the ship. Mermaids latched onto the walls and are glaring at us as well. This place, hard to steer. Student keep track of directions. Hard to do at once. Someone will have to keep track of the directions. Okay. Go get him. Good. Left. The road splits to 3. Wait, look. Opening at 2 o'clock. Thanks to Honglu's quick and clear directions, we were making quick work of the waterways. There's no end to them, huh? But the horde of mermaids attacking our ship doesn't seem any smaller than it did when we first entered. Selected identity heals 5 SP. Exit. Still far. A character performed the check with, oh, that's a fun gimmick. Here you go. Merry Christmas. Nice. Go straight. Right hard rudder. Thanks to Otis's quick and clear directions, we were making quick work of the waterways. There's no end to them, huh? But the horde of mermaids attacking our ship doesn't seem any smaller than it did when we first entered. Selected identity heals 10 SP. We're almost there. Oh. I was gonna comment on the fact that when I did this, I also had this happen, where the first 2, easy. Third one, inexplicably the hardest check in the game. 50-50. And yet the timeline remains consistent. I didn't hit the last 50-50. I didn't hit this 50-50. Who knows what happens if you do? Only God can tell. There's a drop. What do I do? I can't see too well in here. Sinclair was trying their best, but exhaustion seemed to have gotten the better of them. Their directions were very muddled. And we're so close to the exit. Let's fight our way to the end, then. I'll get fucked, Sinclair. We get mermaid oil, though, so that's fun.
싱싱한 풀이 보이네.
It's good to see that my decisions don't matter, and that fate has conspired against me.
빈틈 투성이로군.
대성공이야.
근방의 싸움은 우수했어.
노래 부를까?
You know, I did just comment on Mind Whip, but there is a rest tile immediately after this. And I was gonna bring it up if we had actually managed to pass that last check. Do you know the first 2 checks increased your sanity? You know what doesn't matter? The increase to the sanity that we just got. Because if we had avoided combat, the next node is a rest node, which resets your sanity back down to 0. None of this matters. So go on, Ishmael. Go Mind Whip my entire team. Gregor's right over there.
완전 멋있는 걸?
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어. 내 피가
Ooh, multiple waves. How fun.
직접 나서지.
그치?
맘.
굉장해요.
벌써 끝나가는군.
날 뛰어보라고.
대체가 약화되는 것 같습니다.
다소 유리하구려.
직접 나서지.
We went from an enthralling gameplay experience of using Punch a Bunch and being filtered by every single wave of every single fight to an enthralling gameplay experience where I click the auto battle button and automatically win fights. No, inflict one additional tremor with a skill that inflicts tremor. Oh, great. I'm sure they do. Let's see, look at this. Fight, big fight, into another immediate SP reset. Very cool, thank you.
가보지.
저거 인어도 아니고 고래도 아니야. 외곽 다른 곳에 괴물?
환상체라고 명칭합니다. 한때는 로보토미 지부에 격리되어 있었지만 이 고래로부터 삼켜지게 되었죠.
다르지만 본 적이 있어. 아니었어. 환상체는.
네. 외곽에서는 무엇을 만났어도 이상하지 않으니까 충분히 환상체와 같은 존재들을 봤을 수 있죠.
환상체. 어떻게 태어난 거지?
한때 인간이었던 존재들입니다. 이들은 새로운 에너지 생산을 위해 인공적으로 생산이 되었죠.
있는 것 같아. 원하는 것.
환상체들이 특정한 욕구를 가지고 있는 것이냐고 여쭤보시는 거군요.
저들은 알고 있어. 스스로 자기들이 원하는 거, 바라는 거.
뭐 오로지 그것밖에 남지 않은 생물들 같아 보이는데.
아, 부러운 거야. 자기가 원하는 거 제대로 안다는 건.
키키가 그만 둬. 몸에 상처가. 그 버릇 못 고친 거야?
달피 번데기 되지 못했어.
가능하면 다치시지 않게 싸우셨으면
Who's ready
좋겠어요.
for a tap dancing clam demon? I think I only have, I have only the lacking data thing because I've only fought it once. Okay, well I fought it in the mirror dungeon, but apparently not enough. So that green clam, right? It reminded me a lot of one of those trash crabs, like the green slime, the ocean smell, you know. It looked and acted like a clam, I think. It had these shells that were shut tight. Oh, the clams I've seen before didn't have arms or legs like this one. They weren't as big as this one. We decided to wait and see for a bit before attacking, and its shell would open up. And then there was some gurgling, bubbling green liquid that was spilling out of it, and oh. Yeah, there was some weird larva-like things in there, and there's a mark on the page. Something wet dripped here and dried. Huh? What's this? Where'd the lad get to without finishing the log? By lad, you're referring to Sinclair. I witnessed him leaving hurriedly to the deck. I could tell from his pale countenance that he was, like myself, suffering from seasickness. Yeah, that's disgusting. A closer observation, the residue reveals that it's perspiration, not vomit. Do not worry, this will not have a negative effect on the cleanliness of the record. I don't need to hear that either. Great. If at 0 green slime on turn start becomes staggered, Pearl loses all affinity resistances by 0.5. Gain 10 green slime when recovering from stagger. Fixes part speed to 1 for a turn when using devouring fluid. Shell part retains its resistances even during a staggered state. So you can't really stagger the shell and, like, solve the fight. He inflicts poison and consumes green slime. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but whatever this dude's gimmick is a 0 out of 10. Because, I know he's meant to be all cute, being like, hey, look at that. I retain my resistances when I'm staggered. It's real crazy, huh? And, I don't really care, I'm gonna be honest. He can have his funky little resistances or whatever. 900 out of 10 times it doesn't matter. You just hit him. Maybe it's because every time I fight this guy, I'm using some status ailment that, like, completely bypasses resistance as a mechanic. You know, bleed, burn, stinking, kind of, rupture, all that cute stuff. It has a tendency to just make this dude go fuck himself. It's very fun. Hey, nice chunk you got here. What the hell's all this? Apply 3 green slime to the Ambling Pearl when killed by the Ambling Pearl. Turn end, apply 2 plus 7 green slime poison to all... You know, I'm kind of surprised we haven't actually gotten a, like, poison identity yet. What the hell is this? Oh. Okay, so I just ignored that. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. I know that, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have... words. I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have poison quite yet, because it kind of just takes the job of a few other DOTs, but I'm like, man, poison's cool, though, and it's usually, like, the standard you would expect from a, This is close enough to an RPG for me to say, yeah. You would expect poison in a game like this. Like, they added poison since release, and you're not allowed to inflict it. You're only able to suffer from it. It's the way God intended, really. Mr. Poison Crab over here ain't very fun. I want a poison. Yeah, and most of the times I fight this dude, I don't even bother killing the little green slimes. They just don't matter. You just hit him until he dies. Looking closely at it, it appears to be a gem of sorts. Born after a long time of waiting. Born in the ebb and flow of the filth that fills and leaves that thing with its every movement. Taking its gem would be equal to taking its reason for existence away. It may fall apart without it. That's mine now. Come here, you. You will give me that. You son of a bitch, I hit a 5%. Otis reaches towards the twinkling light. The green slime, the acidic burning sensation, the writhing larva. All of it unnerves the sinner. It's no easy task rummaging through all that in search of the light. Otis could not stand it anymore. Patience and perseverance does not last forever. The sinner had to free their hand from its maw. The experience left nothing but wounds for both Otis and the thing.
예상에서 빗나갔군.
Yeah, that didn't take anything. Only oh yes, it did.
잘됐다. 그치?
You know what? Oh, I was gonna say I could go for a good old fluid sack. No, I'll be fine. No, don't hit the shelf. There you go. Hit the pearl. There you go. There we go. Very good.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
탈출 개체가 전개되었습니다.
쨍그랑 부위가
나이스!
조각났어.
하나 제꼈다.
계속해도 돼.
Nice.
깡총.
저거 봐. 쟤 휘청거리고 있다.
Well, I hope I've come to show that I don't know what the hell this dude's gimmick is like meant to be in like a grand scale because he's just about to die. Yeah, like he spent half the fight staggered. He's inflicted a minimal amount of poison. Like I don't think anyone really cares. Yeah, sure, buddy. Anyway, here's the first turn quick suppression on a staggered target. Yeah, it's over. He makes babies, yeah, but those babies are just little vomit piles that don't do anything. His gimmick is dying. I can't wait for the railway for me to suddenly really learn this guy's gimmick. Oh boy. Are you actually not gonna die? I'll think the real shit.
Mom.
The babies are in the files. Oh, that's fun. I'm glad I have no idea what that is meant to imply, and I would very much so like to continue that with that, like, blissful ignorance. I don't want to know what his babies look like.
뭐 하고
Gross.
있는 거야?
Little tiny baby pearls.
퀴케그는 아주 가끔씩 누구보다 외롭고 괴로운 밤을 보내곤 했다. 빛이 들지 않는 컴컴한 방 한 구석에서 퀴케그는 자신의 양팔을 내려다보더니 작살줄을 끊어버리는 용으로 가지고 다니던 조그마한 단검으로 그 팔들이 마치 텅 빈 도화지라도 되는 양 마구잡이로 헤집고 있었다.
이건 대가야.
자세히 본 퀴케그의 몸은 정체불명의 문신과 그 문신을 억지로 지우려는 듯한 상처로 난도질이 되어 있었다.
이건 네가 이런 거야?
맞아.
대체 왜?
잡히 새겨 넣었으니까 내 껍질에 내가 직접.
퀴케그, 이러지 말자. 여러 둥지를 전전하다 보면 문신을 깨끗하게 없앨 방법도 찾을 수 있을 거야. 그러니까 이런 식으로 상처내는 건 좋지 않아.
새겨졌어. 특별한 방법으로. 그러니까 지우지 못해. 보통의 방법으로. 그리고 방법 찾는다고 해도 그런 식으로 지우지 않아. 깨끗하게 지우는 방법 없어.
고래잡이 배에 타는 선원들 사이에서 각자의 과거라는 건 암묵적인 금기였다. 대부분이 과거로부터 쫓기고 있거나 과거를 파도에 씻겨내고 싶었거나 어떤 식으로든지 돈이 필요하여 낭떠러지 앞 파도로 몸을 던진 이들이 대부분이었으니
이스마일 알고 있었지? 나는 왔어. 중지에서부터.
그 어마어마한 양의 문신을 처음 볼 때부터 짐작은 하고 있었어.
중지는 결코 포기를 하지 않는다고 했다. 뒷골목에 떠도는 누구나 알 법하지만 누구나 코웃음으로 넘어갈 수 없는 이야기가 있다. 아이가 지나가던 누군가와 부딪혀서 들고 있던 아이스크림을 옷에 묻혔다고 했다. 옷이 더러워진 그자는 그 자리에서 아이스크림을 잃어 울고 있는 아이를 달래고 돌려보냈다. 하지만 부딪힌 그자가 중지의 간부였으며 하필 그날 입은 옷은 그자의 가장 마음에 든 옷이었던 바람에 다음 날부터 그 아이를 제외한 아이의 가족들을 본 자는 아무도 없었다고 한다. 농담이나 괴담일 수 있지만 아무도 그 정도 이야기로 취급하지는 않는다. 중지는 그런 존재라고 했다.
하지만 내가 들었던 중지는 중지는 누구나 받아들이는 만큼 누구도 쉽게 내보내주지 않는다고 들었어.
맞아. 중지는 기억해. 잊지 않아. 결코. 그러니까 도망 안 돼. 하지만 잡혔어. 누군가 말했지. 잡힌 나한테 도망치려면 중지의 모든 거 없애야 한다고. 없애지 못하면 결국 잡힌다고. 내 문신은 중지는 낙인이야. 그러니 낙인도 헤집어 놔야 해. 내 말에도 중지 있어. 그래서 헤집어 놓았어. 여호와 뇌를. 내가 직접 어느 의사한테 가서 그리고 다시 도망쳤어.
말도 잃게 하고 문신을 지우게 하려고 온몸이 상처로 파헤쳐지게 하고 심지어 아직까지 쫓기고 있다니 대가라기에는 지나치게.
그렇지 않아. 그때 나는 이를테면 그거야. 구더기.
뭐야, 비유라기엔 너무 극단적인데?
웜을 통해서 기어다녔어. 그게 전부인 줄 알아서. 그곳에서는 알 거라고 믿었지. 세상. 그들은 나를 작은 누님으로 만들고 싶어 했어. 그래서 나는 많이 죽였어. 명령이 죽인 게 아니야. 내 손이 누님이 되어 존경받고 싶은 내가.
아니야. 지금은 우리 모두 번데기일 뿐이야. 탈피는 아직 시작된 게 아니야.
탈피?
이번 항해가 끝나면 같이 찾아보자. 번데기에서 나가는 방법을.
어떻게?
나도 몰라. 그러니까 같이 찾아본다는 거 아니야.
저 오빠 이스마일 모른다고 말하는 거.
그렇게 배에서 내린 후의 미래에 대해 생각해보게 된다.
대왕 오징어 항구. 난 그 앞에 해물 철판집을 알 거야. 지난번 항해에서 목 좋은 데를 내가 봐놨거든.
그냥 청새치 항구에 소문난 집 베끼기 아닌가?
아니거든.
핍은 돈 많이 벌고 싶어요. 핍, 건물주 할 거예요. 그게 제일 돈 많이 번다고 했어요.
저 녀석은 내 설거지꾼으로 찜해놨어. 저번에 보니까 기름때를 잘 벗겨내더군.
아니에요. 스타벅 핍의 건물 아래에 들어올 거예요. 핍한테 돈 바쳐야지.
1등 항해사가 그냥 놀림거리지, 너희한테는.
과거를 묻어두고 꿈도 미래도 없이 한 치 앞만 겨우겨우 잡아가며 살던 나와 같은 사람들이 배 위에서 삶과 죽음에 교차하며 서로 의지해가는 중에 희미하게 하나 둘 미래를 그려갔다. 나도 무언가를 그렸다. 안개가 낀 비린내 나는 어느 조그만 항구에서 나는 퀴케그와 걸어간다. 손에는 두꺼운 서적들이 들려있을 수도, 손질이 멀끔하게 된 수상쩍은 날부치가 들려있을 수도, 단순히 그날의 맛있는 끼니거리를 들고 있을지 모르지. 그리고 계속 고민해가는 거야. 어떻게 하면 꾸준하고 덤덤하게 살아갈 수 있을지를. 돌아간다. 관리자님, 만약에 제가 돌아가지 않겠다고 한다면 어떻게 하실 건가요? 심장을 터뜨린 후 마침내 이 손으로 에이헤브 그놈을 죽여버리고 나면 그 후에 제가 다시 돌아갈 이유가, 살아갈 이유가 있을까요?
그건 공식적인 퇴사 선언을 하는 건가?
아니요, 잊으세요.
I'd never noticed it when I was going through on my own, but now I'm like, that song that was playing during the flashback was gorgeous. Ah. An enemy with a Pierce or Glutton Infinity skill, have 2 defense level down. Beating the abnormality, we sailed for a while without much incident. That was when... Wall. Thick, solid wall appeared before us. Artery. Beyond this wall. Wall opens. Closes. Opening is very short. Don't get grabbed by mermaid there. Chopped in half. Grabbed by mermaid. A heavy rumble, the wall immediately started to open. Mermaids off ship. Slow us down. Cut in half. The mermaids must have sensed the rumbling. They began rushing at our ship. Schmiel takes Vanguard, knocking mermaids off the boat. Good enough. Nice. Made it through. Don't get complacent. Have to remain alert. Huh. All is twitching like it's about to... About a second after the stern of the boat made it past the wall, the door slammed shut. Oh, let's keep moving to the artery. Also not. When at less than 0 SP, final power +1 to Envy, Wrath, and Gloom affinities. Which I do believe are base Ishmael's Sin affinities? I'm not certain though, but I believe they are.
빨리 시작하시죠.
So if you were using base Ishmael, she just got a big buff. Because she has compulsion still.
야, 네 머리띠. 피가 엉망진창으로 묻어있잖아. 아, 이거 좀 호런데.
물로 씻으면 금방 지워져요.
내 머리띠 익숙한 매듭 절박 매듭.
피케그, 나는 너의 관에 매달린 줄을 붙잡고 살아남았어. 어쩌면 네가 붙잡았을 수도 있을 그 줄을 악착같이 붙잡고.
그 줄 너를 위한 줄이기도 했어.
저기 안에 들어가서 기름을 꺼내오라고요?
그래, 생각보다 그렇게 어렵지는 않아.
끔찍한 냄새를 풍기는 고래의 시체가 갈고리에 매달린 채로 흔들리고 있었다.
몸집이 작고 민첩할수록 유리하지.
나는 그렇게 작진 않은데.
원래 이런 일은 신참들이 하는 거야. 잔말 말고 들어가는 게 좋을 거다.
고래를 잡는다고 끝나는 일이 아니었다. 그 고래에서부터 나오는 엄청난 양의 기름을 퍼나르는 일도 고래잡이의 일 중 하나였으니까.
아니, 저 안에 뭐가 있을 줄 알고요.
답답하네. 당연히 고래기름이 있겠지. 우리를 등 따스고 배부르게 만들어줄.
스톱이라는 선원은 2등 항해사였는데 대개는 짜증에 가득 차 있었다.
전...
못 들어가요. 이런 무적행 속에 고작 칼날 한 번만 스치면 끊어질 끈 하나만 믿고 그 말이 목 끝까지 나오려던 순간이었다.
지금 뭐 하는 거야?
묶어. 네 끈을 내 허리에.
왜?
이렇게 묶으면 네가 떨어지면 나도 떨어지게 되니까. 한 몸 되도록.
나는 그 부정확하고도 많은 것이 생략되어 있는 문장에 묘하게 안심을 느꼈다. 한 몸이라는 건 내가 떨어져도 잡아줄 누군가가 있다는 것이며 동시에 떨어지는 내 모습을 지켜봐주는 사람이 있다는 것이었으니까. 그렇게 밧줄의 한쪽 끝은 퀵해그의 허리에, 한쪽 끝은 내게 묶여 있었다. 그런데 그 생각을 한 지 얼마나 됐다고. 어이도 없지. 줄은 너무 짧았고 보란듯이 끊어져 버려서 나는 그 기름 구덩이 뱃속으로 추락했다. 온갖 내장들과 장기와 기름과 찌꺼기보다 더 견디기가 힘들었던 것은 아무것도 보이지 않는 어둠이었다. 고래 기름은 진동하고 울리며 소리를 낸다. 진동하는 기름은 무엇이든 하나가 되려고 한다고 한다. 초진동적 결합, 진동수, 그리고 그걸 이용하여 만드는 공명굽새와 그 파장과 연료. 알아먹지 못할 도시의 말로 하는 사람도 있지만 결국 고래를 채우고 있는 이 기름은 상대를 자신의 것으로 만들고 뒤덮는다. 그렇게 살아있는 고래의 기름에 뒤덮이면 고래의 인어가 되고, 나보다 부피가 큰 죽은 고래의 기름에 들어가면 자기의 존재는 옅어지고 천천히 녹아 흩어진다고 한다. 그때 나는 내가 얼마나 작고 연약하고 보잘것없는 존재인지에 대해 알 수 있었다. 고래들은 사실 외로웠던 게 아닐까. 그래서 자기와 같은 것으로 만들어버리는 기름을 품고 다니는 게 아닐까. 어쩌면 사람들도 외로워서 어떻게든 무언가를, 누군가를 자신의 것으로 칠하고 채우려는 게 아닐까. 그런 나는 내가 무엇으로 채워져 있는지도 모르는데, 그런 내가 누군가를 어떻게 칠하고 채울 수 있을까? 나는 고래보다도 옅은 사람인가 봐. 단순히 남들과 다른 삶을 살고 싶어서 그저 그런 삶을 살기가 질린다는 이유로 배에 올랐던 나는 결국 뭘 하고 싶은 걸까? 모든 게 옅어지는 어둠 속에서 그때 빛이 보였다. 그 빛이 새어 들어오는 틈 사이로 하늘에서 내려온 것과 같은 줄이 보였다. 이 줄만큼은, 눈앞에 이 줄만큼은 내 손으로 붙잡고 살아남고 싶었다. 눈앞에 그것은 명확했으니까.
이스마엘! 줄 꽉 잡아라!
기름 범벅인 채로 죽었더라면 그야말로 존재감 없는 죽음이었겠네.
도시에서 제일 의미 없는 죽음 중 하나였겠죠.
어쩌면 나는 그날 다시 한번 태어난 건지도 몰라. 그래, 내가 그날 붙잡았던 줄은 절대 끊어질 수 없을 거야.
줄 끊어졌어.
아니야. 다시 한번 붙일 수 있어. 다시 엮을 수 있어. 심장에만 갈 수 있다면 넌 자유를 찾을 수 있어.
우리 이곳에 갇히고 하나의 생각만 해야 했어. 인어되지 않기 위해. 의심하면, 망설이면 몸이 하얗게 되어가. 알지? 고래기름. 다시 너를 만나 새로운 모험을 떠나려면 이곳을 나가야 한다고. 이것을 죽여야 한다고. 그러기 위해서면 끊어야 한다고. 줄을 인어되지 않기 위해 그 하나만을 생각하고 또 생각해. 그러다 나는 어느 순간부터 묻었지. 너를, 이것의 심장, 죽이기 위해. 내 심장, 내 마음을 잠재운 거야.
It's exactly what I was afraid of, but after this I'm gonna have to call it.
카론, 기다리는 거 못해.
The inexorable march of time continues onward, and it is unfortunately not one that I can halt, despite how good this story is. So we'll get one final fight, and then continue it off in a final episode. Luckily, with how these things are paced, we'll still get a solid amount of content. We're not gonna run into the issue of having an hour-long stream for the final well, I guess it's not really final episode anymore. It's Christmas to do, but
쟤 휘청거리고 있다.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
정신이 몰라. 터졌군요.
저희가 이길 것 같아요.
직접 나서지.
정신이 몰라. 터졌군요.
예측대로.
I'm still ending the stream off a little bit early, but it is partially because I'm afraid we'll get into another 15-minute long cutscene.
야호, 이기는 편. 우리
Who knows when
편을
these things will just crop up. Plus, it leaves a good amount of content for next time. Which we still have. There's always at least 2 abnormalities per dungeon, so we know we've got at least one more to go through.
쓰러졌군. 저희가 이길 것 같아요.
탈출 개체 확인.
날 뛰어보라고. 씹는 맛이
Pop
있는데.
goes the Pekachulum. Yeah, there it is. I knew it was coming. There's a story beat. And we're not even done with stage 2. Plus the whole wasting 30 minutes at the beginning definitely didn't help. But anyway. We'll be... We'll be back when we're back. Because tomorrow is Symphonia. Damn it. Fuck. Alright, well, we'll be back when we're back. Bye-bye, everybody.